and if you look at the temperature of the mash tun, right now it's 66.3. So I think that's correlated pretty damn well. It's within half a degree. I'll tweak it a bit more. As you can also see now, the liquid coming back from the rims is now very, very clear. And it'll continue to get clearer as we just leave it. I'm not really in any rush today, so I'm just going to leave this while I go and do some kegging of some other beers that are ready to go and have some breakfast and bits and pieces. So I'll probably leave this to mash for, I don't know, maybe 3 hours today, something like that. Okay, so it's a bit difficult to see, but now you can see that basically the rims controller, the set temperature and the output temperature are both 66, 65.9, 66. And you can also see that the temperature at the bottom of the mash tun is also 66, so that's exactly how we want it. Nicely set and nicely calibrated, and we're just leaving the mash to run now. Beautifully clear wort coming out there now. After the mash is complete, which isn't long now, we're going to transfer from the hot liquor from the mash tun into the boiling kettle, and that's a 60 quart stainless steel pan. There's a thermometer on the front of it, which is completely unnecessary because all we're really interested in is to know whether it's boiling. And there's a propane burner underneath. This is a bullfinch burner, a very big powerful propane burner to get to the boil quickly. This little box here controls the temperature of the hot liquor tank, which is off to the left there. It's got a timer and it's got a PID controller that sets the temperature and holds it there. It's also got another temperature controller device underneath here, but that actually that's not for the HLT, that's for the fermenting cupboard that's down below it. As you can see, it's holding that at about 17.5 at the moment. So now this is the work running off from the first batch of the mash into the mash tun. It's really very nice and clear indeed. See, but get the general picture. So what I'm going to do is just let this run off through the pump until it's empty, and then add more hot water to the mash tun. That's looking really rather good. This is running in the second batch of water. Now, the burner's running, so it's pretty loud. I'm going to shout over it a bit. So that's heating up the first batch wort, while the second batch is still filling into the mash tun. Okay, so that's the second batch in. I'm just going to give it another good stir around using the paint mixer again, just to make sure to get all the sugar into suspension nicely. So that's it pumping round again now. It's difficult to see, but it's all cloudy and opaque again. So what we're going to do is just wait until that runs clear again, and as soon as it runs clear, I'm just going to pump that off into the kettle as well. The rest of the water from the hot liquor tun goes into this sink here, and I add some sterilising powder to it. And this then becomes the bath. All my other bits that I'm going to need during the brew day can all sit in here and get sterilised. This bucket up here contains 10 litres of water with a little bit of iodophor sanitizer in there, just as a final sanitising rinse. So right now for this second batch, I've got the controller set at 77 degrees. I want to raise the mash temperature to 77 degrees to denature the enzymes. So that'll be driving up towards that temperature. You can see it's not there yet, it's at 73 and rising. We'll just keep an eye on that, and then when it hits 77, we're ready to pour the rest of that batch into the boiler. And you can maybe just about see here, it's clearing up quite nicely. It's much paler because it's got less sugar in solution now, but anyway, you can see progress is going on. Okay, so now we're pumping the second batch out and into the boiler. We can pump that quite fast if we wish. Just turn the pump up a bit, get it out a bit quicker. You can see, coming out nice and clear again. So it's a bit difficult to see that because of the steam, but we've collected 32 litres in total of wort, and the next thing we'll do is just take a quick measurement of the gravity of that using the refractometer. This is beginning to come to the boil now. 32 litres of wort. It's going to come up to a nice rolling boil, and I'll turn it down a bit and just keep it at a rolling boil, and we're going to boil it for 90 minutes today. There's no hops going in right at the beginning today. All the hops are going to go in the last 15 minutes. Going to try and do a late hop beer, late hopping only in this beer. Then we're going to weigh out some hops. These are Cascade, American Cascade from the 2009 crop. And I'm looking for 70 grams to go in when there's 15 minutes left of the boil. Okay, 15 minutes left on the boil here, so first of all we're going to throw in a Protaflop tablet. And now comes the good bit. First lot of hops. 70 grams of US Cascade hops. And there's going to be 3 additions in the next few minutes. So I need to get cracking, so I'm just going to stir these around.